Welcome to episode 158 of Soccer Over Gotham, Racing Up the Table edition. We have a great show for all of you. Gary, what do we have in this episode?
It's good to talk to you again, Ruby. We have a good
Yay!
show. This is new. SIS, Sports Illustrated Stadium, feels like a fortress. Three straight games, three home shutouts, 6 of 8 games in total, 300 plus minutes of defensive dominance, despite missing a handful of defenders. There's that. Then we got awards, and more awards for the Gotham players. We'll talk about that. Then we'll talk about this game. And now this is the third game in a week, and the last opponent you want to see on tired legs is Racing Louisville, who's ultra aggressive. But Gotham handled it very, very well, and I'll talk to you about how Gotham is using their new formation to great effect, and how they were able to move Racing around the pitch and dominate them. Now, our next opponent, last time a Boston soccer team came to New Jersey to play us, was the Boston Breakers. They beat Sky Blue 1-0 on April 23rd, 2017. Natasha Dowie scored the winning goal, and Rose Lavelle had recorded her first NWSL assist, which is pretty interesting.
I know.
Yes. But Ruby, how are you?
I'm doing great. I don't know if the other day, I think it was Tuesday, if you saw the rainbow like at 6 in the morning. I don't know. Well, that was in Jersey. Probably you didn't see it. It was too far. You're in PA.
No,
But
I
this,
didn't. Yeah. Amazing.
yeah, but the story is that it was like 6 a.m. My wife was taking out the dog out for, to go out potty, and then she was like yelling at me like, "Come over, come over." I was like, "What the hell happened?" And she's like, "Look at the rainbow." I was like, "Oh my God, it was amazing." Let me see if I can pull a photo up like of the rainbow. It was so crazy. And at one point it was even a double rainbow. You can't see the double rainbow here, but this is the
Yeah.
rainbow. You
Completely
kind of
missed
see it there.
completely missed the rain. I know I completely
Yeah.
missed it.
I thought that was like a great start to my morning.
Yeah.
That was, yeah. How have you been?
I've been good. Today went too fast. It's my day off, so I did some trail running, planted some flowers, and now I'm here. And I just dreading going back to work tomorrow.
Do
So
you do any veggies in your garden or just
I'm
flowers?
I'm starting to this year. I did like tomatoes like the year before that, but like everybody does tomatoes, so like everyone dumped tomatoes on me. Like there's just too much tomatoes. No tomatoes this year. Peppers, carrots, beans, stuff like that.
I have a coworker that he grows between tomatoes and all of that. He also does jalapenos, and then
Hmm.
he brings jalapenos to the office
Yeah,
because he's like, there are too many.
no doubt. Well, Ruby, let's talk about New York women's sports. There's a lot coming at us right now. First, the New York Exiles, the women's professional rugby team, is
Wow.
playing this like an hour before our game, 5 o'clock this Saturday, May 9th. They're playing in Mount Vernon, New York. They're playing the Bay Wave, but they're playing, so that's good. That starts, and their games are on the Women's Sports Network. It should be on all the free stuff like Samsung TV, Tubi, Freevee. It should be all on there as well. We have the Charging or playing the Boston Guard, 5:30 Saturday, May 16th. That's following weekend. Then we have the Liberty kicking off Saturday. No, sorry, this is gonna be tomorrow, Friday, May 8th, 7:30 p.m. against Connecticut. It's gonna be a fun game. Back at it. So much coming at us. And then good news. Former hashtag once Gotham, Ali Long made her way back onto the pitch for Fort Lauderdale last weekend. Just so good to see her out there and just moving the ball around. Just yeah, just so good
She's,
for her.
yeah, she's not done. She's still
Yeah,
playing. That's awesome.
yeah. That's a Brooklyn dropped the ball on that. I mean, she's right there. I mean, like,
Yeah.
gosh, it's like, yeah. And then, speaking of Brooklyn, Brooklyn didn't make the playoffs. Sorry, Brooklyn. Boo. But yeah, so there's that. Then for Gotham, Dudley, Rookie of the Month, Rose, Best 11, Davidson, Team of the Week.
Ooh.
Yeah, what a week.
Oh my God, that's awesome. I mean, and we're still early into the season, so it's
Hmm.
great to see that they're performing. So, hey, it's only up from here, hopefully.
Yeah. No doubt. And Dudley just looked amazing this past month. And
Mm-hmm.
Rose is, and we'll talk about it, but Rose has been probably the biggest beneficiary of the new Gotham formation. Then Davidson, just she's so good, and like obviously we hadn't had her for a year, and we only had her for a short time before that.
Mm-hmm.
But to see her on the pitch, and just she's so smart, so physical, it's
Yeah.
just she's one of the best defenders, obviously in the world. So it's just good to have her back, and it's just like embarrassment of riches at the center back department.
Yeah. I'm also happy to see her back. And like you said, she was being physical, which coming back from an injury sometimes is a little hard to
Mhm.
get physical because you're a little scared to get injured again. And she was side tackling and everything. I was like, all right, go Davidson.
Yeah. And then Davidson was amazing in this game. In this game, Gotham comes in as the first team in NWSL history to record 5 clean sheets in their first 7 matches of the season. They have kept 2 clean sheets in a row at the Sports Illustrated Stadium, and that is the third time that they've done that in club history. On to the availability report. It is the same injury report, same starting lineup for the past week, which is very interesting. And
Yeah.
I, t- I texted you earlier about I saw a picture of like Bernina and Freeman like just at like the museum, and like my head I was like my mom's voice came in my head and was like they can have all this time to gallivant around but they can't play. I was like,
I know. I was
yeah,
laughing so hard when I saw that. I don't know if they're ready or not. I mean, they're
yeah,
not in the injury list, but they have to, be ready for those 90 minutes or at least for 60 minutes on the pitch. But
yeah. What?
I don't know. Like, we have so many good players now. It's really hard. But I would love to see them play and get some minutes with Gotham.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. So last week we talked about the Gotham Doom Loop pressing and how Gotham is able to push the defensive midfielders back, center backs to the side, and they trap on the sidelines. They use the sideline as an extra defender, and they get their players up the field, Midge and Real and Guro up the field, yes, to trap in their outside backs. Davidson and Davidson and Carter win the first balls. Howell and McCaskill win the second balls, and it's right back down their throats. And that goes on and on and on. But in this game, what's interesting about Gotham this season is for the first time since Amros has been coach, Gotham is playing in a different formation. They've used the 4-3-3 exclusively throughout his tenure, and this year they switched to a 4-2-3-1. And what that allows Gotham to do is play wider in the back. The space between Carter and Davidson is very wide because Howell can drop in, McCaskill can drop in as a third center back, and it gets the wide players, Hurst and then Guro, higher up the field to help trap in the outside backs on the opposing team. And this works really, really well for Gotham.
Mm.
So the things that are different about it is that in the 4-3-3, it's just a lot of players in the middle of the field. And the player that's benefiting the most from this is Rose Lavelle. Because now, with only 3 players stretched across, Rose is central, and now she has tons of space to run through. She gets the ball at her feet, and it's just a progressive dribble, 20 yards up the field, and she's just dragging teams around, and it's amazing to see how good she's been over the past, say, 2 weeks in a central position, and again, she's benefiting from this. Um,
Yeah, I did
this.
notice that because some balls that Berger would save, she
Mhm.
would quickly like kick those balls directly to Roosevelt, which she was already like on her way. Like she put speed and she had rockets on. She was already running, and the ball comes to her feet. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to score a goal, but I see the vision, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah, let's get into that. Gotham was able to break Racing's press pretty easily by doing 2 things. One is playing very wide with their center backs. And as you notice, even if you look at the goal sequence, we'll talk about the goal sequence. Davidson and Carter are split, and then when they try to press Carter, she passes back to Berger, and Berger has the ability to draw pressure to herself and then play the ball across the field. So it basically pulls the press to one side all the way to the other, and
Mm-hmm.
that's so tiring to be able to chase that much uh, early on in the game. And then when she was doing that, she goes to Davidson. Then Davidson is a little bit of a flub. However, she regains the ball McCaskill drops in behind her. That's what we're talking about. Drop in as a third center back. She plays a great ball out. Jaden flicks it onto Astaire, and Astaire has Guro checking down,
Mm-hmm.
but she pulls it back to the inside because if you got Rose in the middle of the field, you got to get Rose the ball. And Rose comes
Mm-hmm.
running down the field, goes to Dudley. Dudley's 35 yards and simply just cooks her defender. What a stutter step. She stops, acts towards the back shoulder of Peterson. So Peterson just moves her back shoulder just enough
Yep.
where she can push forward a little bit. Beautiful ball across. Shaw puts it in the back of the net. That is like case in point of how you break a press. Just pull them
Yeah.
around the field and then break out. Amazing
Yeah.
goal.
I love Dudley's like toss and go
Hmm.
to get rid of Pierce, but she was still on her. But the beautiful thing is when she kicked that ball, she didn't filter that ball through one defender. It was one, two, three, and she found Jaden Shaw right at her feet. She made it look so easy, like she just tapped it in, and it's such a beautiful goal. That's what I manifested last week, a Jaden Shaw goal, and I got it.
No doubt. And that's, yeah, it's right. It was right. The ball was right behind the two defenders. A beautiful ball. Wonderful move by Jordan. She's growing and growing and growing. And every game, it's like she adds something to her
Yeah.
arsenal. We're like, okay, that wasn't
Hi,
there last week, but
yeah. She was the highest rated player in this game, by the
mhm.
way.
Yeah, and then you mentioned it earlier. The other way to break the press was when Racing commits all their bodies forward, especially on a corner kick, as you mentioned. Rose would sit at the top of the box, and then she would take a kind of vertical run towards one of the ends of the 50-yard line. So just she would just run to one of those. As soon as Berger got the ball, she released Rose, and
Mm-hmm.
you commit numbers forward. Rose is going to pull you 80 yards down the field.
Oof.
Yeah, so it's just a lot of chasing from Racing, and just that's funny. A lot of chasing for Racing. But yes, masterclass of getting Racing to run their legs out early and just hold
Mm-hmm.
on from there. Just incredible. 62% possession for Gotham. That's another way
Yes.
to hold away the press.
Yeah.
But I think in this game, both teams understood their assignments. First, Racing understood their assignment. They are a team that is punching above their weight in every game. And when you do not have the talent on the field, you have to play a little bit more aggressive. You have to stop
Mm-hmm.
any kind of transition by taking fouls. And they were running players over. I mean, just one after another. It was just, they just went at Gotham, and Gotham held their own for this match. But just your thoughts on like the physicality of Racing is something to behold.
Oof. I know. Like you said, when you don't have the players to go against Gotham, you have to be a little more physical to
Mhm.
try to stop Gotham's attack from scoring more, which the defense didn't do that bad because honestly, this game should have been another game that should have been 3 goals in, but it was only one. So, but Gotham dominated the game throughout this game. I don't know if you mentioned it already, but 62% possession of the ball. That's great. Again, possession doesn't mean that you're gonna win the game, but in this case, it worked for Gotham.
Yeah. And then poor Jordan Dudley. I mean, she was again. She's just a target.
I know. We talked about this last week, how it's been rough for her. And again, she was roughed up in this game. She saw the grass a few times. It sucks. We don't want her to get hurt. But again, this is the NWSL, and that's what they're known for.
Yeah, she handled it well. Towards the end, she was getting very frustrated.
Yeah.
But yeah, good on her for keeping her composure because
Yeah.
Racing was going in on her. And Gotham understood the assignment. They pulled Racing around the pitch. They held their own. They scored a goal early, and they were able to sit back and just pick Racing apart and pull them around the field. But this is new for us. Sis as a fortress, historical defensive dominance from Gotham. In the past week, right? We'll take the past week in general.
Hmm.
The opponents averaged 88 passes on Gotham's half, which is crazy. That is a lot
Yeah.
of being pinned in. That's a lot of defensive work. That's a lot of being under pressure all game. And Gotham averaged about 166 passes in the opponent's half, double of what the other team is doing here. And this is really interesting as far as stats go. Racing was chasing the game, and they were throwing everything at Gotham in the second half. They were playing all up the field and running up and down. but they only had 2 touches in Gotham's 18-yard box in the second half, which is just lockdown defense from Gotham,
Mm-hmm.
being calm and composed and still being able to pull racing around the field. Incredible. And then also we have just some record-breaking stats now. 6 clean sheets in the first 8 games, 3 straight clean sheets, tying the second longest run in club history. 3 straight home shutouts, another club record. 300 minutes without conceding, 5th longest streak in club history.
Wow.
287 consecutive minutes without a goal at home.
Ooh.
And then just have to credit Gotham's next man up mentality. I mean, players go down, next player steps up, Mitch steps in, Guro steps in a position she's never played, and Gotham's hanging in there. Just an incredible run.
Yeah, this is great. Great stats for Gotham, and they're making a strong case for themselves to make it into the playoffs, and who knows, maybe win another championship. That would be the dream, back to back. It's going to be really hard because this league is very, very competitive. We've seen teams that were in the top last year not doing so great this year, like Orlando and KC. Gotham is still there. Washington's still there. Uh, the next opponent, it's not another great team, but again, this is good stuff for the team. So when they go against these big teams like Washington, they'll be ready.
Yeah, no doubt. And this is what we said. This is a run of games that Gotham can build their confidence, get some points off
Mm-hmm.
of, and they're
Yes.
taking full advantage of it. Good teams beat the teams they're supposed to beat, and Gotham is doing that right now. Any individual player notes that caught your eye during the game that we haven't talked about?
Yes, Dudley. I've been watching her,
Mhm.
and like we were talking about it last week, she's been growing into her game. She's been developing, and we're seeing it week after week. She was the highest rated player in this game, 8.5. She got an assist in this game. I mean, I can't wait to see her play in the next game and just keep growing with Gotham.
Yeah, no doubt. We knew she was good when we got here. I think I mentioned on
Yeah.
the podcast. I'm like, the league's gonna regret letting us get her.
Yeah, it was not even announced yet, and you were like, I hope they get her. I hope they get her, and
Yeah,
here we are.
yeah, indeed. But I just want to continue to point out that Jess Carter has not put a foot wrong all season. She had 90% passing actually against Racing. Just a clean professional player. She's been awesome all season. But she needs a break. Sonnet needs to get back as soon as possible. And then I think we're starting to see the vision of McCaskill and Howell playing together. I think the 4-2-3-1 is working for Gotham at the moment. We'll see how it does against the upper echelon of the teams on the table. We'll
Mm-hmm.
see. McCaskill has been very good. She's always going to have that one moment a game where you're like, Savannah, what are you doing? Where are you passing that to? But for the most part,
Yeah.
she's been good, and I think it's bearing fruit. And so far so good. I mean, look at the results. So then stats. Any stats jump out to you, Ruby?
I'm gonna keep going with my shots. This game against Louisville, they had 14 shots and only 4 of those on target.
Yeah, we talked a lot about how physical Racing was, but Gotham handled their own. They stood their ground. They won 63 duels in total. Racing only won 35. Gotham won 64% of their ground duels, 70% of their aerial duels, and they had 54% successful dribbles. And Racing had 1 successful dribble. Just a defensive masterclass from this team. They knew what was coming, and they played really, really well. Hero of the match, fans rightfully, like we've been talking, were shouting out Dudley.
Yeah.
Dudley, we got Rhodey. Dudley, she put in an absolute shift. Ember, I'm biased at this point, but it's got to be Dudley. Roller Coaster said Dudley for the amazing run and assist. Dopamine Dandy, Dudley set up the goal, drew the fouls, so many defensive tackles, played the full 90, just immense. And any disagreement, Ruby?
No, none at all.
Yeah.
What about you?
Nah, I got no disagreement there as well. Even though I think Rose was very instrumental in this game and was incredible. But Gotham is moving up the table. They are in 5th place, and right above them is the Utah Royals. Now,
What?
Utah Royals
Royals.
are now they're, as of the win yesterday, they're 5 games unbeaten. So this is not your grandmother's Utah Royals anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so who is the former Gotham player with the last name Delzer?
Gotham player? You don't mean Sky Blue player. You mean Gotham player.
Gotham player. Played for Gotham. And
Say it again. What was the name?
now their last name is Delzer.
Um, I is it Paige?
Nope.
I know she changed her last name, Paige Monahan. So who? Tell me.
CC Kaiser is now CC Delzer.
No way.
Yeah. This
Oh,
is what happens.
okay.
And then Paige Monahan is now Paige Cronin. Then Mandy Haught is now Mandy McGlynn. So it's like they leave Gotham and they just change their identity and they run to Utah.
But Mandy went back to her maiden last name. She got a divorce.
Oh, so she's back to Glenn McGlynn. Okay, she's back at it.
Yeah.
That's right. I did see McGlynn yesterday. Yes. Okay. Sorry, Mandy. You're now McGlynn. I can't keep up with your lifestyle changes. We wish you the best. Okay. So next opponent is Boston coming to town. And I had a good conversation with the Black Swan podcast yesterday or the day before. I can't tell. I don't know what days it is anymore.
Yeah.
A good conversation with them. They're excited about playing in New Jersey for the first time. We look forward to beating them this weekend. I tried to
Yeah.
when I was on that podcast, I felt weird because I'm not usually in a space where I'm like I'm trying not to sound too cocky when I'm
Yeah.
talking about the team, but I'm like, how do I not sound cocky when I'm like, we've been 300 minutes without a goal scored against us. We haven't been scored on 6 of 8 games. I'm like, I'm trying to like downplay it, but I'm like, I probably came across as such a jerk.
Yeah. They're gonna like the next episode is canceled.
Yeah. But
Sorry, Gary. You're not invited anymore.
yeah, this game will be on Ion. So your thoughts on Boston coming to town, Ruby?
Ooh, it's gonna be an interesting game.
Yeah.
I hope is not boring because we're playing right now the last place on the table, which is Boston. I think they were trying to form a rivalry here, right? I don't know, something like that.
It's a
Boston.
rivalry. It's just a natural rivalry.
It's
I
just
mean,
natural. Okay.
eventually we'll get to times where like we're playing in games that matter and it's going to go over
Yeah.
the top. But like Boston, New York is
Boston.
like, it's just the thing. It's
All
in the
right,
blood.
we'll see. Boston Legacy, former Boss Nation. That's a flop.
Yeah, why'd they change the name? I like that name.
Okay. Okay, Gary. Maybe, yeah, you don't deserve going back to that podcast after that.
Yeah, but Boston's playing better. Their ideas of who they want to be are coming together. They won their first game. Congrats to them over Denver. That was wild. Did you see the ending of this game?
Which game?
Boston in Denver.
No, I didn't
Okay,
see it.
so I leave Red Bull Arena, Sports Illustrated Stadium. I'm still getting used to that.
I know it's hard to remember.
And the game was like 2-1 Denver, and it was like the 70th minute. And I drive
Uh-huh.
home. I take care of my cats, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch some of the highlights. So I'm working on my show notes, and I sit down and I click on the highlights. And then I pull up my
Uh-huh.
phone, and
Yeah.
I'm watching the highlights, and it's like 60 minutes into the game. Denver's up 2-1 and whatever. And I look at my phone, and I see this green graphic, and it says 3-2. I was like, what? How
3-2.
did this happen? I'm watching the highlights and it gets to the 70th minute,
Yeah.
80th minute, 90th minute. I'm like, what is going on here? Boston scored 2 goals in like 2 minutes in like the 90th and 92nd minute to pull out their first
Whoa.
win. So again, good for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So it's a team that's not gonna go away easy. So have to play out this one. But I think that where Gotham's going to dominate here is the middle of the park. I think Howell and McCaskill have been so
Hmm.
good, and Boston is a team that likes to draw teams forward, which kind of plays into Gotham's ethos. Just Gotham wants to be up the field. So if you're going to play around the back, we're gonna we're gonna turn you
Yeah.
over and we're gonna go straight to goal. So I think that is where Gotham's going to find most of the advantage. Is going to be in the middle of the park and Rose centrally, and having so much space is going to be interesting. As we remember, Boston is a team that wants to fight like
Mm-hmm.
racing, so they're going to foul a lot.
Yeah.
So hopefully that doesn't interrupt the transitions. But I think Gotham is probably going to win this one. Uh,
Yeah.
I hate making predictions, as you know. I try to
Yeah.
manifest things. Not make it. I predicted like a 1-0 snoozer for the first time, and it was a
Yeah.
1-0 snoozer. So this one I was like, oh, gosh, I don't know. I was like, the way Gotham's playing, I think they could probably get two and be like 2-0.
Yeah.
One in the first half, one in the second half. I think that should be all Gotham needs. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
We'll see what happens. And a big question for the next game, we'll see, are we going to see the same lineup again?
That
One
is a
more
good
time.
question.
Right?
It
Or
depends.
maybe Juan Carlos wants to give some of these players, some rest time. Like you said, Carter needs a little break. Maybe this is the time to do that against Boston.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. So what are you manifesting for this match?
Woo! I want this game, I want a Dudley goal. And Esther goals. If we're gonna go for two goals, Dudley and Esther. I feel like Esther needs one goal to feel confident again because she hasn't been scoring lately.
I'm still, I'll put all my energy into the injury report. I need it to be shorter. I need players to come off the injury report. So maybe my mom voice will bring Mandy and Bernini back. We'll see.
I know. Oh,
So,
random thought before we
oh yeah,
go.
what's the
I
random
do
thoughts?
I do have one this time.
Mhm.
So I saw today that Shakira's coming out with a World Cup song. I love Shakira, so I had to say it. And we know that Shakira always makes banger songs.
Yes.
And I feel like now she's kind of like a staple for the World Cup. So I was a little sad that there was no new song from her, but I saw it today announced and I think it comes out in a few days or something like that. Let's see if I can play a little snippet from online if I can find it here.
Obviously, I don't really care about the men's World Cup,
Yeah.
but the Warning also have a World Cup song too.
The what?
The Warning have a World Cup song too.
No way.
Yeah, so
Oh,
it's
I
definitely
didn't
not.
know that.
It's definitely different than what they've ever done. So
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that. Dude,
yeah,
like I feel so old right now.
yeah.
Um oh, here it is. I found it. I was like, why can't I find this song? Um should be somewhere here. Shakira. Okay, here we go. Ready. It's a
Yeah,
great song.
that is a great song, and it's
I
gonna.
know it's
Yeah,
catchy.
that's a great World Cup song.
I know it's really
Yeah,
catchy
agree.
because the one that they had released for the US, that was terrible. What's his name, this guy? Jelly Roll. No,
Oh,
I have nothing against Jelly
yeah,
Roll, but that song sucked. Sorry. It was
yeah,
terrible.
yeah. Agree. So I had like four random thoughts, but they're out of my head now. So we're just gonna gotta move on. Just
Oh,
one thing I thought was kind of interesting. I don't know if we talked about this before, but there was a stat that I saw that 42% of all coaches at the professional level were defensive
mm-hmm.
midfielders, which I thought was interesting. And
Mm-hmm.
if you add in defenders, it's like something near like 60 or 70%. So most coaches have been either a defensive midfielder or like
Mm.
midfielder and a defender. And they said
Oh,
forwards
that's
and
interesting.
yeah, forwards and goalkeepers are underrepresented at the professional level as far as coaches. So I wonder what Juan was as in his playing days. Curious.
Mm.
I mean, it makes sense.
We're
I mean,
gonna have to
obviously,
find out.
yeah, the defensive midfielders, which I was, just you just have to analyze the game different from that position. And defenders, the game's in front of you. It's a lot more there. Like forwards are just really reacting and just trying to get behind defenses. sorry, sorry, forwards, but
I
you
forgive
just
you.
yeah. Were you a forward?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Number 9.
Ooh, yeah. So, all right, we will
Yeah.
see you all next week on the outside. I will be at Sports Illustrated Stadium. Ruby, will you be?
Hopefully, I don't know yet,
Yeah,
but Mandani's gonna be there,
I know.
and yeah,
Emma Hayes, right?
yeah, and Emma Hayes.
Okay, should be fun. I missed AOC last time she was there, so I'm going to see if I can get a chance to meet Mondani. That'd be awesome.
Oh, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, we'll see you all soon. Let's go.
Let's go.